The African National Congress in the Western Cape has resolved to withdraw from the march on Monday, meaning tomorrow, 2nd of October. It was always our position that this was a multi-party march against the unlawful impoundment of taxes. It was never intended to be a shutdown. The mixed messages emanating in the media have convinced us that it would be unwise to participate in this. We are opposed to any form of shutdown. We support a peaceful resolution of the issues within the minibus taxi industry. Finally, we call on our members not to participate and continue with their normal activities tomorrow. The ANC will continue to engage the industry, civil society, and all spheres of government to find lasting solutions. Thank you very much. That's our short statement. From the onset, we have always been clear that we are for a peaceful march that must take place of all multi-party organizations. But to our dismay this morning in your channel, Newsroom Africa, we were caught in the part when we read got the statement that came from your channel. And then that made us to actually meet and then so that we can determine our participation.
Please clarify a statement that was issued by Newsroom.
It was an interview this morning with I forgot the person that was running the program, but it was with the chairperson of the EFF this morning, which was calling for the total shutdown, which was saying that there's no minibus taxi operation that is going to be on the road.
Well, which was saying that?
No, it was not Newsroom. It was an interview with the chairperson.
Thank you. Just needed that clarity.
Thank you very much. What was your other question?
The issues that they are raising insofar as the previously disadvantaged communities, what is the stance of the ANC given the fact that they've now flipped from it being a shutdown to a demonstration that will raise issues that affect black and colored communities?
The African National Congress has always been in support of our people, including the crisis that is affecting the taxi industry. We are now and again speaking to the SANCO and then agreeing about the position that we must take. What we said that is we're withdrawing. We're withdrawing to the march tomorrow because it is not in line with our party political position in as far as how we define the march, the peaceful march, and then the handing over of the memorandum. That's how we've actually withdrawn ourselves from the African National Congress.
SANCO to understand, the ANC has always been a fighter on the side of the poor and the marginalized. We understand the plight of the taxi industry. From the first day of the recent taxi action that emerged, we were involved with the taxi industry and met them at their offices. The Friday, it started on a Thursday, the Friday we were with them. We were with them continuously that entire week. So they understand that we as the ANC have been leading the fight for the better conditions of the taxi industry and against the illegal implementation of this bylaw. We think it's immoral, it's illegal, and our national minister agrees with us. And we support all the action that has been taken by the taxi industry. So we then engage in this multi-party process to ensure that we mobilize the maximum support around the agenda to raise the issues of the taxi industry and to expose the DA for its draconian implementation of this bylaw. So we remain firm, we remain resolute that we're on the side of the taxi industry, we're on the side of the people, and the ANC will announce further actions on how we take this forward. Thank you very much.
We have always agreed about the march from the onset that is, let's take this march on the 2nd of May. Straight into the, 2nd of October, pardon me, straight to the government led by the DA in Ndabeni. We have agreed about that. And we have always emphasized the point that is, it's not going to be a shutdown, it's going to be a peaceful march, underline a peaceful march that goes to hand a memorandum. And then we believe that is, in doing this march, we are equals. We are a multi-party of many, many organizations. You must also remember that it's not only us, the African National Congress alone, that have pulled out. There are other organizations that have pulled out not only today, but as the days moving into today. Now, we have explained that it's out of the developments that have taken place this morning. We felt that it's our message and language is not one with regard to the definition of what will happen tomorrow. Now, we did not want to embarrass ourselves, embarrass our organization. We felt let's rather withdraw for now in this march and then allow our partners to move with the march. And then as the African National Congress, stay away from it and then allow our people to do their business as usual.
Let me try and respond to that. The ANC will never forsake our people and work with the DA that we all know in this province has an anti-poor, anti-working class agenda. So we were not cozying up to the DA. It is also not semantics, it's not words, it's about principle. We had an agreement with all political parties, including the People's Movement for Change, that is most probably also going to give you a statement, that we are going to work together to raise the issue of the taxi industry as equals. Now, for any political party to go on its own and to have its own press statement is also not an issue, but to go and claim that they are leading the march and it's their march, we felt it to be unacceptable. Now, to come afterwards and say, no, it's not like that, it's the message that's been sent. So we were against that, and that is part of the reason why we... also, in our meeting with them this morning, they could not clarify to us whether it's a shutdown or a march. We insisted on a march. They were saying shutdown. They have now changed their language. So we only learn now that they've changed the language, but in our meeting they've not changed the language. And it's on that basis we took the decision.
I'm not sure what would be the basis of believing that the ANC is cozying up when the ANC takes a stance about the nature of the protest. Because I think what is not in question here is the issues. It is the nature of the protest. And we say this because we understand the sensitivity of the conflicts historically that has been happening around the issues of taxes. That history is there, of people having to walk and people stranded and all of that. And this is a matter that would have always, when we engaged in the process, emphasized on with the parties, that we would love to see a protest that is peaceful, that is non-violent, and also, as it has been said, that it is a protest that would allow those that tomorrow would still want to go to work the freedom to do so. So I think what I just want to dispel is the notion that the ANC, when it differs on the nature of how the protest is being presented versus how we have emphatically in meetings explained is our stance, because this, again, we were invited into a multi-party process, that based on the issues that are put on the table, we supported.
Charlotte?
Yeah, good afternoon. I just want to clarify the one part that I can pick up, that there's a continuous focus on the word shutdown. And why would we want to withdraw because of a word? We can't also, as responsible leaders, allow our people and mobilize our people to go to a march that is going to start at 9 and then end up at 7 in the evening, because it is also said that we are going to try and delay the march and walk slow and slow and slow until we then get there, and it's late. We're supposed to be there at 3, we delay to get there at 6, 7. We can't have people walking from 9 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the evening. It is going to be totally irresponsible of the ANC to expect of our people to participate in a march for a whole day that was not planned for. So in terms of the wording shutdown, yes, we are not happy with that, but that is part of the core reasons why we are saying we can't be part of a process that is going to expose our people to hot weather and coldness and a long walk where they are not going to be having the necessary resources in place for them to also feed their human nature.
Very clear that from the ANC point of view, as has been said by other of our leaders here, is that we have a broader responsibility to society. We are committed to dealing with the illegal bylaw, stopping the unlawful impoundments. But when you make a call which is not clear and you raise the issue of a shutdown, that has massive implications for workers, for industry, for the safety of communities. You cannot say something which is as serious as that and then on the other hand the next minute change and say this is not a shutdown. If you have a shutdown, it's a very serious thing. We have a responsibility as the ANC, one, to resolve the issue, to expose the DA, but secondly, we have a responsibility to the safety of all of our people. And we cannot go into something where the risks, because of the double speak and in particular the statement this morning, that doesn't mean that our relationship with the organizations doesn't continue. But as the ANC, we are clear that there are too many risks involved, and we would appeal to our people to carry on with their work. We continue trying to resolve this matter. We're working with our national minister, we're working with SANCO to apply the necessary pressure on the DA to withdraw an unlawful bylaw and to abide by the National Road Transportation Act.
I think that I've repeatedly responded to this question. To say that we are withdrawing to the march, we are going to be engaging with our colleagues after the march to check the better way, because this is not the only activity that is going to make us together.
Would
There
you
are many
reconsider
other.
yes or no to be part of this?
We're
now
not
that
going
they've
to be.
changed?
We're not going to be part of the march.
You're not
There's
willing
nothing
to
that
reconsider?
is no. There's nothing that we're going to be reconsidering in this.
Thank
You know. Yes.
Ms. White, in our meeting before the press conference, as our leader said earlier, that we have saw the live interview with the chairperson of the EFF, and we then raised eyebrows as to what the utterances was. And in our meeting with the leadership of the EFF, the idea is then to start the march, walk slow, to frustrate, we all want to frustrate the DA, but we can't frustrate our people. If we want to fight for their rights, we must fight for the rights in a responsible manner. So we can't be expecting of our people to walk from 9 and then get to the point at 7, because that is ultimately part of the plan, as has been explained to us by the chairperson of the EFF. And that is part of our reasons why we are saying that we can't be party to what is happening tomorrow.
Wesley? In answering the question, when we got invited, and I think we do repeat this, the ANC has been in support. When we got engaged on the matters, we understood, firstly, the issues that are at hand in as far as the transport or the taxi industry is concerned, which are issues that we even contributed to the memorandum that will be presented tomorrow around the issues that are facing the taxi industry. The bullying, the abuse of law enforcement, the criminalization of the taxi industry. Those are issues that are not issues that we are embarrassed about, because these are issues the ANC is raising, including in the legislature where the ANC is represented, in the council and all of that, which is the basis on which, when we were invited to participate in the march, we agreed to with other parties. The notion of the shutdown as an approach is something that we raised in the meetings with the EFF. So it is not a question that the ANC is here around whether it would be embarrassed or not. I think this must be made very clear, that the ANC's responsibility and under the freedoms that we are celebrating here is freedom of association, freedom of people participating to protest on issues that they feel are unjust to them, which is why we even believe that what is happening to the taxi industry in the Western Cape is unjust. And when we do that, the methods at which we need to put in place are methods that must understand the nature of the democratic dispensation that we have in South Africa. And such includes the fact that this particular march is having a permit, and part of that responsibility is that other people tomorrow are given and have got also the right to go to work and should not be intimidated or feel that their safety is at risk. And I think those are the issues that we want to emphasize on this point of why the ANC in the engagements on the nature and the methods to be used on this particular protest, which is something that we have raised in meetings about our stance.